Hello, friends. I'm Brynox, the Dragonborn monk from Lillenhold. Welcome to the world of Petrolith. After I traveled to Viridia to try to make the world a better place, I met up with a strange group. We ended up arrested for mass murder. Justified, of course. Luckily, our group escaped from the corrupt Viridian legal system and hitched a ride aboard the Horse Siren with Captain Harold. We headed to Thar Duk, obtaining 2 ships on the way. And by the time we hit Grand Grom Harbor, literally, we had already landed in hot water with the local town guard. Join us on our next arc, Thar Duking Around.
Last time on Petrolith.
Always got to know when to pack up stakes and move to another country and change your name.
Hey guys, how you doing?
We haven't done anything wrong.
No,
Yes.
we wouldn't just murder a group of people.
Maybe we should just run the fuck away.
This is a bad idea. She pulls out like a dreidel, pulls out a bit of string, and she just looks over at you, Reginald, and kind of shrugs and goes, "Sorry."
That's what the Nazis said.
A lot of the supplies look like they originated in Thar Duk. We are going to Thar Duk. They're mighty racist. Some of your friends came knocking in the middle of the night.
You said we were off to sea.
Don't feed him that line of bullshit. You know damn well this is your fault. Could Sage do that? You guys are sailing for about a 10-day. Spot a ship in the distance. It is not only unmanned, but anchored. Smelled like somebody was there a little while ago.
There's something very interesting going on there that needs a lot of heat. But I'll come back later.
You kind of are getting the heebie-jeebies down here.
If you don't shut up and sit down, I will make you shut up and sit down.
Is there anything that you know that would cause the crew to abandon ship? What were they saying? They mentioned a strange feeling as well.
Box starts glowing red hot. You take 5 points of fire damage.
Alright, I'm throwing this thing in the ocean.
No, it's gonna be worse.
This bitch got nuts.
You implied that perhaps the crew did something to displease the box.
Didn't we try and figure out what the box is before we sink it?
It's very
And where?
special to me.
Reginald genuinely does not want to hurt this person.
You chuck the barrel overboard.
Righto, who thinks they can do that one better? Yeah, let's
Hoist
pick that
the
up.
sails, motherfuckers!
So he comes running down the dock after you crash into it. And he's like, "What the fuck do you think you're doing?
Right, who put this dock here?
That's been here for years."
Oh, well, funny place for one. You have the privilege of addressing Reginald Fitzjeffrey Splodington the Ninth and his lab assistants, and Mrs. LOO as well. Yes. Who do we talk to about tying this thing off or whatever?
Well, I guess you talk to me, but it would be right after you talk to me about fixing the damages.
Well, I'm not the one who put this dock here.
The dock was here before you were.
Well, yes, otherwise I wouldn't have sailed into it. Keep up, man. Listen, somebody else take care of this. I need to go get my luggage.
The gnome is just flabbergasted. He deals with a lot of people and a lot of different kinds of people.
He's never had to deal with the Reggie before.
But he's never dealt with Reginald. Does anybody else want to try to deal with him?
No, goes.
Okay, sir. How much will it run us for these planks and barrels?
It was the sound of Rob vaping, but it was definitely also the sound of this gnome sucking air against his teeth.
I actually muted OBS so there's no sound in the recording. Well, we're gonna have to get a team out here to contractors to make assessments and get a quote. I'm not sure how much it's gonna cost.
Well, we'll be here for a short stay, so I would probably put that as a priority. We'll be back by here. We do need to explore the town a bit. But seeing as we won't be taking our boat with us, make us aware of the repairs, and we'll see to it.
He looks really flustered, and he reaches back and grabs a satchel, almost like a messenger bag that's on his back, and he pulls it out and he starts sifting through papers, and he pulls out some parchment, and he puts it on the back of the messenger bag and starts scrawling on it, and he goes, "Right, I'm gonna need all of your names, and I'm gonna need you all to sign this contract saying that we have a lien on your boat."
So I step up, I take it, and I sign it Fanny Poppycock. Give it back to him, and start walking up the dock.
"Excuse me, Miss Poppycock, do you have any identification on you?
No, I don't. Pardon me.
He just shakes his head in heavy sighs. All right, who's next?
Reginald comes down the gangplank dragging like 4 steamer trunks. What's this about people leaning on a boat? I didn't say anybody could touch our boat.
Well, if you don't pay for the damages, then it's not your boat.
Well, whatever you do, don't lean against it. You'll scuff it up.
First off, you scuffed it just fine against my dock. Second off, I'm not
Well,
talking about
that's-
leaning on it. I'm talking about putting a hold against your ownership of it so that if you guys disappear, then we're going to take your boat and sell it to pay for the repairs to the dock.
Well, you should have said that in the first place. Now listen, you want me to put ink to parchment here somewhere? Yes?
Yes, please write your name and then sign.
Right. Right. Reginald Fitzjeffrey Splodington the Ninth, in very large letters.
It takes up like half the parchment.
Right, if you need any further autographs, you'll have to get in line and pay for them like everybody else. Now, where is a good place to stay around here? With decent food and, good carpeting.
Well, there's the Harbor Inn in the back of the harbor. You can't miss it.
Right, well, I'll see you later then. Good luck with your floating pile of wood. Yes.
It was anchored before you hit it.
Now you can get it out to the boat, Caesar. You're welcome.
You really have no idea how any of this works, do you?
Not a clue. Good day to you, sir.
Next.
I'm not real good with writing.
No habla?
I speak just fine, but it's the writing. I can't sign. I'm sorry.
I don't think he's going for a ploy. I think he just doesn't know how to write.
Brynox is dyslexic, so he writes down like BRXON. And Y. I missed a Y. Are you just gonna come down and start speaking Sylvan and pretending like you don't speak Common?
Correct.
He's about to hyperventilate all these heavy sighs he's doing. And he pushes the parchment towards you and says very slowly, I'm going to need your name and signature. Name? Sign?
I just kind of look at Reggie like, I mean...
Reginald's walking off down the docks. He's
Alright, so Harl just grabs the pen and puts an X.
What is your name?
And she just walks away.
As he's watching you walk away and thinking about yelling after you to make you come back, Blueberry comes down the gangplank. And he just like, oh shit! And then, all right, you there, big fella. Just tell me your name, I'll write it down.
Brynox? Me?
Yeah, you.
Brynox.
Okay. And he writes it down, but he spells it wrong. Just like how everybody spells your name in real life. And then he like hands you the parchment and the quill and goes, just put an X or something. I don't fucking care anymore.
Put a triangle.
Give me strength. Okay.
I don't have any magic spells. I can't really just give you my strength.
Not you. Oh my god. Gods give me strength.
God, another one of these gods, guys. All right, I'm out of
Cool.
here.
So you guys move up the dock to the harbor proper. As you go up the stairs, you can see, maybe you can see, here we go. You can see warehouses. There's giant cranes and all sorts of cartons and you know that word for the square things. Crates. Jesus. I'm really taking
the squares that are everywhere.
Yeah, don't let us break you, DM.
I took psychic damage from that entire interaction. Anyway, there's crates. There's a big, really nice looking brick building in the back here with glass windows and a giant door. And there's a sign on
there.
Yep. And there's a sign on the front, and you don't recognize the word. Like you recognize that it is words. Everybody pretty much speaks Dwarvish. It says, what does it say? Where did it go? There we go. It says the Platinum Way Station, not way station, like wait, but like the Platinum Way Station. Huh? Oh,
Like protein
yes.
powder?
Yes. Try new Platinum Way protein powder. Make you swole. So as you guys continue past the large cranes used for loading and unloading ships, you see the inn over here, and there is this really strange contraption sitting on, it looks like metal rails. And you do not recognize what this is, but it's sitting there. So there's that. So are you just gonna head into the inn?
Yes.
Yeah, we got to put all this stuff down.
Okay.
No, okay. So, and help me remember the logistics of this. The ship that we just crashed into the dock is the one that we stole from the Red Manticore people, right?
Yes, from the Manticore's bite.
Manticore.
So it's
right.
now the Hydra's breath.
Yes.
Right. We crashed the Hydra. Okay, and we took all of. And there wasn't any like good shit to sell on it, and that's all still back on the steamer ship, right?
We decided not to sell it to the people who had shipped it out.
That makes
right,
sense.
and that
Okay,
was
great.
that was
Just
also on
wanted to
the
make-
that was on the merchant ship that you guys tied up in
Right.
the Copper Grove and left Mango to
In the swamp.
Mango, Jesus, and left Mongo to keep an eye on.
We left Mongo amongst the mangroves. That's what we did.
Yes. Mongo of the Mangroves.
It's going to be a very interesting song when we get back.
Watch out for that tea.
Just wanted to make sure that that's what was going on.
Yes. Yeah,
and the boat is now empty and at the mercy of a bunch of gnomes. Great.
Yep. And also the horse siren with Captain Harold is being unloaded right now by the cranes and whatnot.
Okay, and he's just going about his business because that's what he was here to do in the first place.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. So yeah, as you walk in, the inn, the actual tavern part of the inn seems pretty sparse. They don't look super busy right now, which makes sense because there weren't a lot of ships outside. You get the feeling that this is not exactly their busy time. And let me come over here so y'all can actually see. So there's two bars set up. The one over here has like, an innkeeper that's serving drinks and food and whatnot. The one over here, there's a mousy little gnome that's just like flipping through, it looks like a ledger. You get the idea that that's where you would go if you wanted to get a room as opposed to food.
Well, I suppose we should secure ourselves some accommodations here. And then, well, rather not certain whether we have a great deal on our docket while we're here in the Port Grand Grom, or whether we have very little to do. What do you all think? We may need to find some source of income if that wretched little gnome is serious about charging us money for his little pile of scrap that they built out into the water there. And then furthermore, we said we would look around for cult activity, and then I need to figure out how these lights work. These strange invisible lights with their arcane power source on that boat, so I can figure out how the whole thing runs. But I can take care of that on my own time. What do you all want to do while we're here?
I guess I'll walk around, see if I notice anything suspicious.
I'll scan the end to see if there's any message board that has any requests on it for small jobs.
There is.
Okay. Let me go ahead and take a gander, see what we've got here.
Okay. There's a pretty good number of sheets of parchment that are like nailed to this wooden board. And there's things like, it's ranging from my roof is leaking and I need somebody to re-thatch it. My outhouse is full and I need somebody to come dig me a new one. Very like, most of the stuff on here is like contractor work. It's not adventure work per se. You do see one that's exterminator needed, pest problem in the Grand Grom warehouse.
Okay. Do any of them show payouts?
The exterminator one is 50 gold, which is much higher than most of the other ones. There is another one that is escort wanted, and then below it you can see merchant group traveling to Northgate requesting armed escort.
So I take down the contact information for the escort position and for the pest issue at the warehouse. And you said that they were going to North Point?
Northgate.
Northgate. I was gonna say, well, we're not taking that one. Alright.
By the time you rolled into Grand Grom, it would have been, that's the wrong one, the beginning of Chanti, which is the last month of fall. It's like the 3rd of Chanti right now.
Right.
Out of
how many days per month?
Sorry, 40 days per month.
Right, now see here, my good man, we're going to need 3 of your finest rooms. One for myself, one for my fellow graduate, and another for the rest of these lab assistants here. Make sure it's heated. It's got a good fireplace or whatever you use around here. It's getting cold out. The weather's about to turn, I can feel it.
Yeah, all of our rooms are heated, don't worry about that.
Oh, fantastic, yes.
So how many rooms will you be needing then?
The 3.
Just 3? Okay.
Is that it? Yes, yes.
And how many visitors total?
It's me. It's the 4. It's just the 4 of us. Yes, we left the big one back at the other location. Yes. So yes.
Okay. That'll be
the scaly one and the dead one are sharing a room.
I'll share a room. Could do girls and guys. Unless Reggie wants his own room for him and his equipment.
Nope. Reginald like grabs you by the shoulder, except not by the shoulder. He like grabs you by like the knee and like pushes you to the side for a separate conversation. It's like, listen, I know we've talked about this a little bit, but we've got to establish a clear hierarchy between ourselves and the assistants. So you've got to have your own room. I know you don't mind. You've got this soldier of the gods thing going on. You can sleep out in the wilderness armor or whatever, but when we're inside in the nice hotel, you've got to have your own room, and we've got to establish, a hierarchy amongst us and them. You've got to take your own room, whether you need all of the room or not. Do you think I need a queen-sized bed? Look at me.
Reggie, I think we might want to focus more on finances at the moment, or we're going to lose this asset that we stumbled into. There's times to call it and times to not, but they've covered our asses a good number now. I don't know if we need to oversee that.
All right. What is this diploma even for? Fine, we'll just get the 2 rooms, concierge.
Sorry, I'm doing math. How long are you planning on staying for? Are you staying for the night, a week? What are we talking here?
What are we talking here? What happens if we have to leave?
Well, you're allowed to leave anytime you like. I mean, it's...
If we pay for the week and we end up leaving early, will we be refunded for our unused boarding days?
Yeah, most of it, but not all of it.
We're talking half or less?
You'd get about half of what you paid for back.
How much would it run us for a week?
So for a 10-day, for 4 of yous, 2 rooms, that's 40 gold.
Let's do 5 days and call it 20.
Okay. And he starts writing down in his little ledger. And can I get your names?
These are with them in names.
Fanny Poppycock.
Okay, Fanny Poppycock. And you?
Reginald Fitzjeffrey Splodington, the 9th. A pleasure.
Okay. And how about you there, big fella?
Brian Knox.
Okay, is that with a I or a Y?
A Y, I think.
Okay, Brynyk? Anyway, and what's your name there?
No apple.
No habla. Weird elven names. Okay. And he hands you 2 keys. Are you guys gonna head up to the room?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we gotta put our stuff down.
Okay.
Now, what is it you got off of that board over there? Azilla, is that some kind of advertisement for armor polish or something? Or is that some sort of local jobs board?
I did find 2 things that we might want to consider looking into. Now, one of them's fairly immediate. It looks like there's a pest problem down at one of the warehouses. So, for the short term, that might be something.
Level 1.
I don't mind taking half a day's work and 3 days' pay. But the other one, we might want to see what our timeline is looking at, because if we're planning on leaving, there's a ship that's needing an escort to the northern gate. North Gate, the town, I'm not sure, I'm not familiar with this area. But we might want to get a little bit of more information to see when we're leaving if that's something we want to take up. We have time to cycle back and pick up Gertie.
Yes. Well, it does say armed escort, and we are heavily armed, so I guess we qualify. I don't know about killing a bunch of large rats in a warehouse, but maybe they'll make for good eating and we'll save some money on dinner. And that is more than we paid for our half a week worth of room and board here. So,
well, Reginald, if we want to, consider an enterprise here, it may do us well to make contacts and owe favors from the local warehouses. That might be a good opportunity.
You said pests. Reginald is assuming that they're having a rat problem. Yeah, Reginald is just assuming rats. You're right, of course, Azilla. If we're going to be here for an extended period of time, but we may not want to pay for these exorbitant rooms. Well, I suppose they weren't too bad. Especially if we can get easy little gigs like this, just killing some overgrown cockroaches or whatever it is down there. I tell you what, why don't we get settled in, and then we can go speak to the merchant caravan and ask them about where they're going and when they need their heavily armed personages to travel with them. And if we can manage it, then we'll head over to the warehouse in the meantime and just mop that up really quick. With any luck, we'll be back in time for dinner. And yes, and like you said, maybe we'll make some contacts along the way. I'm sure these dark workers and their warehouses, they see all manner of things coming through, especially any suspicious cultists, hopefully. You know, crates marked with death heads and figures in robes moving their goods about in the night. That might be a good lead, yes. All right, well, good work. Let's get settled in, and then we'll go speak to this merchant caravan.
Okay. So you guys head upstairs. Get all settled in. The rooms are pretty nice. Let's see here. So you would probably be in this room and this room, since the middle room is 3 beds. Oh wait, that's only 1 bed. Well, at any rate, you guys can figure it out. Also, that map does not have to be canon. But you guys go upstairs and you settle in. And you said you're gonna head back downstairs.
We're gonna
unless anybody needs to do anything in a
merchants.
hotel room. Yeah, we're gonna go to the merchant's guild or whatever.
Okay, there was contact information on there, so you know where to find it. So as you head back downstairs, you see 2 soldiers in really nice, shiny armor. Their armor is all like brass colored. It's not like made of brass, but you get the idea that it's just kind of plated to look brass-ish. And they're talking to the gnome behind the check-in desk. And as you guys come down the stairs, the gnome kind of looks up and then points and goes, "Oh, there they are! There's Fanny right there!"
Oh, right, you're right. What could they possibly want?
They're not like brandishing weapons or anything. They don't look like they're like threatening. And one of them speaks up and he goes, "Oh, you lot, the harbor master sent us to come get some more info from you and see about paying back for that damage that you did to the dock."
He's already got our boat. What more could they possibly want from us?
Do you want to just give them the boat, or do you want to pay it back and get your boat?
Do we have an estimate available, gentlemen?
Sorry, what?
Do we have an estimate available?
They're still working on it.
What else
So
would
we
you like
don't-
us to provide you?
Well, we just need to make sure that you don't leave town before it's paid back. Or else we have to start considerable paperwork to transfer the boat into our name. Ownership, rather.
Well, I think we like the boat a great deal here, so you needn't worry about that. But we're off to try and, find some work here. By way of, in fact, getting you your money for your little key out there.
Right. So, tomorrow morning, we should have the quote done for the damages. So,
Well,
just
If
hang
you'd
tight.
like to check the ledger at the inn, you'll see that we're scheduled here for the next 5 days. So
Yeah.
we do have every intention of being here for tomorrow morning. Was there anything else?
No, that's it. We'll send somebody by tomorrow morning.
Excellent.
And then they turn and leave. And the
That was rather well handled, Azilla. Good work.
the front desk clerk goes, "That was you guys crashed into the dock out there. That was mighty fine bit of driving, I must say."
Thank you. It was my first time, if you'll believe it.
Yeah, I believe that.
Ah, well, yes. Yes, well, we're off to find something to do with our time here. You don't happen to know if there's an alchemists guild here in town, some sort of local, work collective of alchemically minded craftsmen, something along those lines?
Well, we're not really big on alchemy here in this country. We're more interested in real science.
Ooh.
What on earth is that supposed to mean?
Well, all the hoopla and the...
I've never hooplaed a day in my life, good sir, I'll have you know. I don't know what you do around here if you don't mix chemicals to get results, but I can assure you my crafting is quite genuine. Who plated the armor on those guards back there? That's an alchemical process if I've ever seen one.
That's not alchemical. That's we hook up an electrode to the armor and we dip it in an acid bath, and we pump energy through the armor, and it causes the brass flakes in the acid bath to stick to the steel.
Right. Acid bath, yes. Who does this process, if you don't mind me asking?
The blacksmith down the way.
Right. Thank you very much. This has been very enlightening, yes. Electrodes. What could that possibly be? Come on, Azilla, let's go murder some cockroaches or whatever. I've got some visits to make after our rounds here.
Onward.
Can you believe he called alchemy hoopla? Here they are dipping metal in acid baths.
They do seem to have some pretty crazy technology around this way.
Listen, I'm all for sitting here admiring their processes, but he was talking to me like I was some sort of savage who was going around praying over bottles of rose water in order to create healing potions. You've benefited from my alchemical solutions. It's not like the wounds don't close. It's not like I don't catch people on fire when they've sought to cause trouble for us. My processes work, damn it.
Harrison is the thief of joy, Reginald. This guy doesn't understand the life you live. It's not his fault. He's a clerk.
He is just... That's right. He's just a concierge. He's a desk butcher. He doesn't know a thing about science at all. I'll have to stop at his blacksmith, though. Maybe he knows how to get those lights running on our definitely legitimately claimed boat.
Did you guys leave, or are you standing right in front of the desk?
Next time on Petrolith.
Wasn't the plan to hire people and then sail back to the ship? Not a lot of humans in Thar Duk. Hey, how's it going? What can we do for you? We're making a trip here in a little bit up to Northgate. The train travels at 30 miles an hour. They top out at like 50.
Hi, Yosef, is it?
Oh, yeah, yes, I'm Yosef. These guys are a pain in the ass. They are, because they're insects, they are resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing.
Azilla is played by Lynn. Brynox is played by Bryson. Harlequina is played by Anna. Mongo is played by Emily. Reginald is played by Zach. And the DM is Rob.